Let's jump in. We'll get started. So as I said, this is the Great B2B E-commerce website roast brought to you by Bluefish Group. We're a systems integration marketing agency. We do a lot of stuff in e-commerce and marketing. But let's introduce your panelists for today. To start with, we have my co-host, Jasmine. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's me. I am the chief ideator of creative architecture and heuristic idealism. They let me pick my title, and that's what you get. So I come from actually advertising in the world of entertainment. So building big entertainment things for Disney, working with Disney engineering, rolling that out through interactive space. And then now I'm pushing that into the customer journey. So what is that entire customer journey, soup to nuts? You first hear about the brand, you fall in love with the idea of the brand, you go to order the thing shows up, and then you interact with the thing. Like that is a whole ecosystem you have to think about if you want to maintain customer loyalty.
Thing interaction, it's definitely a thing that we specialize in, interacting with things. I'm Anthony McGregor. I'm the director of e-commerce at Bluefish, but I really wear many, many different hats.
And hair.
Yeah, and hair. It's getting.
He does not get many hats on that hair. That is good hair.
I go through a bottle of product every time I get ready for one of these webinars. I'm responsible for helping clients with vision around why they're even doing the things they're doing. What are some of the end goals, keeping up with the technologies that are always changing in the e-commerce space. I've been doing this for about 20 years, always in the digital marketing side. I had my own businesses before. I just really love the space and the psychology behind e-commerce and why people do what they do. And so so it's always fun to look at new sites and look at different ways of designing and building out sites, which is what we're going to do during these roasts. So this is a series of roasts where we look at websites and critique them. And let's jump in to see.
I like to think of it as like entertaining people so that they're super excited to give you their money, I mean, that's what it all is in the end of the day. Like, get people excited to give you their money. Like, we worked hard for this money. Whoa. What happened here? Where did you take us?
This is the site we're roasting today. This was one that was submitted to us. You can always submit your sites to be reviewed and roasted as long as you've got the courage to do so. And today we're roasting fitnessdealnews.com. This does not look like the normal type of site that we roast, does it, Jasmine?
No, it doesn't. No. In fact, if you go back up to the top, so here's what's interesting about this site for me is from a design point of view, I think normal, just baseline designer coming out of design school would be like, oh my gosh, it's like really terrible because it's just.
I'm getting so much anxiety just looking at it.
Well, like there's a lot going on, but there also isn't. And so when I look at this site, I think, okay, I am not the demographic and it's not designery. But if you actually look at the products that they're selling, they aren't designery products. These are all hard hitting, like aggressive products. Like, we're never showing the face. We've got like warning signs and it's very aggressive. So to
looks
me,
like you can buy crack on this site. Did we end up on the dark web? What's going on?
This site has mastered the clickbait. What I've come to actually really like and respect this site after we've initial examination, because it's really focused on two things. Click here to leave the site, or click here to watch my video. And that's it. We're going to give you just enough information to send you on your way to get you off this site. This site is not supposed to be a comfortable experience. It's not.
Yeah, chaos and pain supplements. It's right here in black and white.
It is clickbait. It wants you into the video content, or it wants you out to buy the product, because this is a site we don't normally do, which is basically an affiliate site.
It is an affiliate site.
Explain this business model to me. Why, what, how is this? What is this?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know how this affiliate site's working, but there's a lot of these types of sites on the web, and frankly, some of them are really good money makers. And so again, we don't normally work with or review sites like this, but because it was submitted, we thought, why not? We'd give it a shot. The way these sites work is they're really good at SEO. The people running the sites are usually really, really good at ad buying. They're usually good at buying ads at quite cheap rates for a high volume of traffic. And then sending people off to other sites where they get paid a affiliate fee if the person usually makes a purchase, or sometimes if they perform an action on the site. And some of these sites can get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of visitors a month. So although Jasmine and I are a little critical of it, in general, I think Jasmine makes a really good point that sometimes website design is more about function than it is aesthetics. And I would agree with Jasmine. This site is functionally doing its job, right? It's a minimal amount of text on the pages. It gives people bright things to look at and things to click on. And really in this site, it's all about the deals. This is not a site that's trying to convince you to buy one product over another. It's a site that is just throwing up a bunch of deals, and hey, if the deal works for you, great. If it doesn't, then there's going to be 10 other people coming along that deal might appeal to.
But based on what you said, if it's an affiliate site and you want deals, like in all reality, they're being actually very restrained. Like there could be bright green stickers, there could be flashing objects, and it would be completely overwhelming. So they're really packaging each thing as like, here is this video. It's a clickbait, like I don't want to say clickbait like it's bad. It's obviously, I think clickbait is a mastercraft. So don't get me wrong, like mad respect. But I in my early design times had to come to the idea and the concept that, just because something's ugly or fugly sometimes means it sells so much better than if it was heavily refined, because there is a truth and a feeling of like authenticity that sometimes gets stripped away when you have a hoity-toity designer come around and do all their palette, in their labels and all this other kind of stuff. So I mean, when Anthony and I were first looking at this, I was like, let's look under the hood, because I have a feeling if Anthony gets under that hood, he's going to see a serious engine. And what did we find? What did we find here?
So as always, we jump in with.
But damn, that's a list.
There's some good. Let's go. There's some good tech in here. So we use BuiltWith for this exercise here. We're not affiliated with BuiltWith, but we do like it as a tool to see what technologies are running on the site. And on the outset, this the site owner clearly cares about user experience, because we see our old friend Mouseflow here. Mouseflow is one of those user behavior tracking tools like Lucky Orange or Crazy Egg. It's really good at helping you understand where users might be getting hung up on your site or lost somewhere. And so the fact that this is even on there is usually indicative of a site owner who's trying to improve the user experience. But scrolling down, lots of, okay, so they're on Cloudflare Rocket Loader, which means that they're usually expecting some higher volume traffic sometimes. So there's something about this site where maybe the owner, and this only just got turned on in December, maybe the site owner is expecting some big Christmas rushes or something, not sure. Visual Website Optimizer is an A/B testing tool. Lots of ad tech on here. This is what you would see on an affiliate site though. And this just shows of somebody who really knows what they're doing in ad tech in general. And so I would suspect that the owner of this site probably works for an e-commerce company or some sort of software company. And they really know their way around the different tools that help bring traffic to your site and get it to convert. The platform is on WooCommerce, which is not something we see that often in our world of B2B, but WooCommerce is a great e-commerce platform that sits on top of WordPress. It's cost effective, and we've been surprised by some of the larger sites we've started to see using WooCommerce as well. So it's just interesting. Not really seeing anything else super amazing here, but there is a lot of ad tech, as Jasmine said. So this site is clearly about getting people in cheap, getting them to click out to other sites and earning those commissions. And I mean, hey, let's not knock it. It's a great business model. There's no inventory to carry. No. There's no shipping to worry about. It's probably a one-man operation, and I'm assuming it's a man that runs the site. And hey, more power to them, I guess.
Well, and I like what you said about how you can tell he cares about the user experience. And even though the design is very aggressive and also simple at the same time, they care about the user experience because they focus on red and black. They're staying in their lane. Again, there's that flashy green, flashy yellow, flashy orange. There's not a lot of mixed colors. There's not a lot of flashing of aggression. They are still respecting the customer experience. Even if the design isn't super elegant, it doesn't need to be elegant. It needs to be serving these products. Well, these products are aggressive. They're for people who are doing this research. You've got all these things, like crack and, delayed and not allowed. And like, oh my gosh, like it's very shocking, but they are reeling that in to allow both. I like to say that there's only two things you can do here. There's that video, which has all the graphics and all the colors, and it's that one block. And then there's the button to leave. Like, that's it. Like, they're very, very focused on that and not confusing the customer with extra crap. And I do really appreciate that. Like, there's so many sites that give you so many options. They're just dying of the FOMO of options. It's too cluttered. Like, so.
So in moving through the site, we like to go to category pages and product detail pages. I'm not sure how we're going to do that here, but this is kind of a category page, I guess. It's showing all the categories, but let's drill into protein powder. It's very, very common supplement. Everybody uses it if they're working out. So this would be what I guess is a version of a category page for this site. It's the protein category and the products are listed here. So on category pages, we like to look for elements on products that help the user decide that this is the right product for me at that time. Oftentimes we see category pages with a lot of images, maybe just a title of the product and very little additional information. It's assuming that the user or the visitor knows what that product might be. This is a little, again, this site continues to surprise me. On this category page, they have a lot of the elements that we would like to see on category pages. The name of the product, a price indicator is usually pretty good. The brand, the category, find the best deal. This is not a terrible category page. Any thoughts here, Jasmine, around what we're seeing? Is there any way they could improve this maybe from a design perspective for helping people navigate through these different products?
Well, you're getting some squishing on some of the images. I'm sure that that's because that they are beholden to the original image people, the image gods, as you would. But I'm still really liking the simplicity of find the best deal. Like, this is why you're here. We respect that. Here's your button. Like,
let's
it's
try
done.
it.
Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna find the best deal on whichever one. Here we go. Muscle FX, Hydrobolic FX. Find the best deal. What happens? And I guess this is their equivalent of a product detail page, right? It looks,
yeah, actually, I like this. Because if this had
mm-hmm.
all been on the other page, I would have been more annoyed and it would have been a scroll catastrophe.
We do have a little bit of see more on description text. I know Jasmine favors hiding as much text as possible behind those see more as well, making sure you've given the user just enough information to be curious for those that want to
don't
read.
Make me commit. I got commitment issues.
There's a lot of good information here, and then we have our price comparison down the bottom. I'm assuming if there was more products to choose from or more products to compete, there'd be more options here, or
I can imagine you might get addicted to one set of these kind of supplements and maybe you can't find them anymore. They start reducing in inventory in some stores. So maybe there are only 1 or 2 stores. Maybe
let's
there'd be 5
see what happens
stores.
when I go to store. Okay, it just takes me straight out. There is a tracking link there, and then it takes me out. And there's I guess it's tracking me when I come to the site. And that's how, again, some of these affiliate sites, well, most of these affiliate sites make money by having tracking links that when you click on to go to the main store, so All Star Health here is the person that's actually selling the product, that would have set up a session in the user's browser to essentially say to the e-commerce platform All Star Health is on, hey, this user who made that purchase came from this other site. It records that, and then there's usually a commission paid to the site. But I want to wonder about what if I wanted to buy something specific in the protein category, but maybe I didn't know what I was looking for. I'm just going to use the search bar because we always like to use search bars on sites that we're roasting. Search is a really, really powerful tool on any e-commerce site. When you think about search, a lot of people think of it as a way to help your users navigate the site. Actually, there's a little bit of a secret around search. Search can be one of the most valuable ways to collect information on your users. If someone's coming to your site and they're typing something into the search bar, that's a very strong signal that they're ready to buy. And so the keywords or the words that people type into search on your own site can be a great way to harvest new ideas for products, trends in the marketplace, these kinds of things. And so we do often see sites where the search bar is not prominent, it's kind of tucked away. This is pretty front and center. It's
I have to say, I think he knows your secrets because it's nice, big, fat. It's like 80% of like. Is there a nav bar? No, it's a search bar. Like he knows
exactly.
He already knows.
Yep. This is really nice. Wow,
really
I think I might steal this search experience for some of our clients. I have not seen search results displayed this way before. I'm fascinated. What is different here is he separated the search results into the different categories that people might be looking for: deals, compare prices, product reviews. Oftentimes on e-commerce, you type in your keywords into search and you're just going to get a list of matches without much separation between the criteria. We have a client that is in the supplement space, and they are very cautious of FDA regulations around promoting content that might talk about diseases and stuff with their products. So we have to be very, very strict about separating the blog from the products. And so in search results there, we literally have 2 different tabs you have to go to find, to browse between, say, the articles of the blog and the products on the site. But this could be a great way for our client that's doing that to actually have articles here and then maybe products here. This is nice. I'm impressed by this. But
Yeah,
let's
I really
go
like
on.
this because he's got a lot. There's a lot of reasons people would come here, and he's really trying to help you get there faster. Like there's like 3 different things there. There's like reviews, prices, things, stuff like, and I think that's super helpful. Yeah. Compare prices, reviews, brands, categories, deals. Like these are the things that they excel at, and they're going to make it easy for you to get there.
Yeah.
Which again, like you said, respecting the customer.
So I've done a search for protein. We like to explore search on sites because of the importance of it to us. And I've just noticed something slightly, I think there's an area that you could improve on the search results. If you look at the search results here, we're on a page that is displaying search results, but it looks like one of the category pages. If you remember when we went back to protein powder as a category, I'm just going to go forward. This was nice because on this page, well, everything that's listed, there are elements that help me decide what is appropriate for me, as low as. I really like that. It would be great if you've already got that information, you should surface it up as an additional element on your search results page, because right now I'm scrolling down and I don't have a lot that helps me decide what product is appropriate for me. I do notice actually there is a price here. So I guess that's helping me sort through. But why would I choose MyProtein Clear Whey Isolate over Vegan Protein Blend or MyProtein the pre-workout? Maybe. Well,
I was just messing with you.
Make a good point. I think the search results here could be improved a little bit by maybe having some sort of filter. Jasmine, you and I were talking about maybe having at least a pricing filter or something, so I can not be exposed to products that are just outside of my price range, for example.
Yeah, I think when we did this experiment, you just typed protein, and then it was like, you wanted the option to sort by price or availability or by deals, or by maybe types of protein. There might be too many. That's a big search function.
Whey protein, vegan protein.
But vegan's a big deal. That's a big divider in the protein space.
Yeah. And so if somebody's already searching and they've already told us, hey, I'm interested in protein, let's make it easier for them to find the type of protein that's most important to them. Because now I have technically 651 pages. I might have to scroll through to find what I'm looking for.
Can
I guess
search
I could
vegan protein?
Yeah, I was literally about to do that, Jasmine. Great minds, huh?
You know, what's funny is I don't think either of us are vegan at all. Like, we are meat eaters.
I do the occasional, meatless Mondays and stuff, but in general.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I type vegan protein, it works a little better. I would be exploring user behavior for search on this site and seeing if we can improve it somehow by having some layered navigation or search.
It also depends on, like you said, with the Cloudflare and the Rocket Booster and all this stuff, is he pushing like a mass amount of traffic just to a page or a product or a thing? And so does search really figure into his business model to the level that we're looking at it?
Yeah, maybe people are coming through organic search directly to the deal page. I like the product reviews.
It is fitness deal news, so it's all about the deals probably. Nobody's here to do research. They probably already know about their products. Yeah.
Well, maybe on this site, people are actually using it as an opportunity to try new supplements as well. That could be a great, Actually, just a new idea literally came to me while I said that. What would be interesting maybe is to experiment with getting the visitor to put in some of the supplements they already use and seeing if there's deals on those supplements already, but maybe also making recommendations on other supplements that are comparable. And I'm just trying to think of one supplement I take. I take Amino Energy, it's called, before I work out in the mornings. And I'm just seeing if I search for Amino Energy, because it's not the cheapest supplement out there, but it's definitely proven as safe. And I'm just seeing here, this is the one I take. And I'm just seeing $34 shipped, but they're all expired right now. And that's, for me, showing me an expired deal, it's a complete waste of my time. I actually don't appreciate having an entire page of search results that I can't even trigger. And this might be trying to create some FOMO or sense of urgency around, hey, next time be faster. But it's just not useful to me. It's not really functional. It doesn't look like I can do a lot with those search results. So maybe omit them instead of showing them to me. Because when I do click on one of those expired ones, go on.
Scroll down a little bit. I just want just a tiny bit of time on the thumbnails. This guy has figured out, he has unlocked his thumbnail potential. Like, he's got the assassin. It's illegal AF. Like, it's so clickable. And like, and this top one's one of the few ones where you see his face. But if you keep going down, like, he starts to tend to cover his face. We get into this whole like secretive. You got to click on it. It gets very, very fun. You're annotating. It gets really, really fun from the thumbnail, because the magic around the
Game
thumbnails
over.
in YouTube is a whole other set of magic. Like, it's a whole other set of optimization. And I think he's really been doing his research and trying all the different thumbnails and getting to this kind of a look that I think probably works very well for him.
So that's interesting, Jasmine. For the people watching that are interested in expanding their YouTube presence, you talked with confidence there about the thumbnails. What would be, just looking at these, some of the things that you would say this site owner is doing well when it comes to thumbnails? You said he really nailed it. What is it? It's big text. It's catchy
well, he's
colors.
Got, yeah, like most people will pull like so your basic videos on YouTube. You just pull a thumbnail out of your thing, and it's like, what they found is that, like, then if you have like a person like falling, like, like, that's more interesting. But if you have them falling and it's like, someone broke into our van, I love van life, so I'll click on that. Oh my gosh, someone broke into your van. Like, but I would not have gotten that from like the happy pretty thumbnail of some girl in her van. Like, I want to know, like, what are the 5 worst ways that the van life goes wrong, and like, so they're answering questions. And again, thumbnails are the key to your YouTube success. And so he is not bothering with any other graphics on the site. He's focused on he already has the keys to success. He's already masterminded his whole thumbnail and his buy button, and that's it. Like, that's what you get. Yeah, I know, not for human consumption.
Not for human consumption.
But he's just playing it up. Just play it to the hilt.
That's intense. Let's I'm just gonna play one of the videos real quick, and I'll remove my annotation here, and then see. You guys won't be able to hear the video playing, but it'll be interesting just to see. There you go.
And I've seen this before in some of his other videos. I think he tends to actually, this is like, it's not as crazy of a video as you might expect, but he really like has all of the supplements. He clearly knows his game. He's talking about the relationship between them all. But you can see, like, if that was a thumbnail, it'd be super boring. But that is a thumbnail, way more interesting. But the way he stylizes
the Dia de los Muertos face that's right at the beginning.
For sure.
Not for human consumption. Illegal AF.
Yeah. You can, because you can also change your thumbnails over time in YouTube and start A/B testing them. Okay. So he's clearly been working on that for a while, and he's been paying attention to best practices and A/B testing and always refining. He is not giving up. He is not resting on his laurels. Maybe you don't like the search functionality totally. I know we like the search bar, but I mean, I think that I think his traffic comes from somewhere else. And so maybe some of the
it's probably decent amount of ads, low ad. Again, buying ads cheaply on ad platforms and then sending people through.
Or very specific places. Like, it's not a broad audience. He knows where his audience lives, and he goes for them in their houses. And
we don't usually do this. We usually stay on the site, but let's just go to the YouTube page for this site, because I think for our audience, we do talk about e-commerce sites a lot, but marketing is also part of an e-commerce business. And so I think we could spend the next couple of minutes just looking at the YouTube channel, maybe as a way. Jasmine, what's your thinking on the initial? I mean, 23,000 subscribers, that's not a number to sneeze at, for sure. What are your thoughts on?
He's sticking with this whole thing. Bro, do you even save? Like, it's almost like he's shaming you for paying whole price. It's so great. Like, like, you're clearly a moron. Follow me for more tips. Like, I love it. Like.
And looking at the videos and playlists, actually, that's a good point, Jasmine. Just on the last few minutes we've got left, when people think about their playlists for YouTube, do you have any high-level advice on ways that people can group their videos together? Is there any, like, just absolutely fundamental themes on grouping videos together, or it's more just about the content of the video and what goes together? How would you advise people structure some playlists on YouTube? Just some basic advice.
You got to get it from your customers. You got to get from your customers. Like, I've done ones for like a circus where it was all like the playlist was like, sit the kids down and go through a history channel of the circus. And it was like all of our favorite like history kind of circus stuff. Then we have like the 2021 shows, and you can do the 2022 shows, or you can just do actor interviews. So we tend to categorize it in this one, I don't know if it makes sense to categorize it by supplement or property or,
He's
one-to-one
got a, he's got, I
comparisons.
like this idea, green supplements reviews, best vegan protein reviews.
Yeah.
That feels like a good grouping for an e-commerce site, grouping some of your reviews together. And actually, I think one of the best things we could take away from this right now is we do get a lot of our clients asking us, I don't know how to make video content. I don't have a video person on my team. You don't need a video person on your team. You just need to love the products you're selling, sit down in front of your iPhone on a nice Sunday afternoon, and just record yourself talking about the products and why they're great. Post them up on YouTube.
And make a good thumbnail.
Yeah, and make a good thumbnail. Exactly.
Make a good thumbnail.
Reviewing your own products like this guy is doing is actually a great way to produce really affordable but effective video content. And it doesn't need to be bombastic. It just needs to be genuine. People can tell when you really care. And I might be able to skip
and the great thing about playlists is like you might be cleaning your house, you might be doing an activity on the computer that's data entry. You could run this in the background. I like to think of this is a video I would listen to when I was doing a task that only requires 60% of my brain. So what's the other 30% thinking about? Like if I do a lot of Photoshop work and it's a lot of pixel moving, it's very visual, but I can be listening to masterclass, to this, to something I'm researching, to the different antennas I would need in my van. And just listening to those comparison sites, you get a good playlist. And now I'm going to stay in his lane. I'm going to be with him for an hour or two, just playing that in the background. And I'm not having to deal with YouTube trying to serve me something new or take me on a new direction or drop me off in a conspiracy theory land. Like, I don't need that. I want to stay in my lane. So you're making it, again, easy for the consumer.
We know that consumers these days like to do a lot of research before they purchase. And frankly, Gen Z is even more intense with their research, but they love videos for their research. So if you do have a Gen Z audience or you're trying to start to appeal to Gen Z, you've just got to have video. It's mandatory because, to Jasmine's point on how she likes to learn about new products or things, she'll do some work and the videos are playing in the background.
Yeah,
Jasmine's focused on her work, but every now and then there'll be a word that comes up that you're going to look up and pay attention to. That's how Gen Z gets a lot of their information these days on products they're looking at buying. Ben, do we have any?
Your videos be concise, because I'm a big TikToker now. I love the TikTok and the TikTok. But when I first started, it was so amazing to me that you could do so much in 15 seconds. And now, if you don't have me in the first quarter of a second, I'm out. Like, I'm just out. And what's interesting is YouTube was encouraging producers to make longer videos so they can insert ads into it. So then people start trying to like game the system and make it too long and it's super boring. And then Google's like, F this. And Google's like, here's the 3-second clip that you need. And they send you to just that clip of the 20-minute video. So you don't have to watch it.
They do that now, don't they? In search results.
Yes, they do.
Click on the link.
Because
deep links,
YouTube went the wrong direction by trying to make us make longer, boring content. Well, TikTok is teaching us to do it in 1.5 seconds. And Google's like, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to give you just the piece you need, because Google cares more about the experience than they do about YouTube's advertising model.
It sounds like a race to the bottom for making the shortest possible video. Soon we'll be watching videos.
It's not the bottom.
Half a second long.
Get efficient. Like, this is my favorite time to be alive, because people are getting efficient. They are not beating around the bush. They're organizing their thoughts. They're getting it out in 3 words.
It's a great time to be alive. Ben, I just noticed the time. We got any questions from the audience on some things we covered?
Yeah. So we do have a couple of questions. So we can start with maybe about the look and the feel of the website. So a question around that is, because our theme is, if you want 2021 customers, don't be a 2001 site. How does red play into the web page? What do you think, maybe Jasmine and Anthony, what do you think when you see red on a web page? What is the feeling associated with that?
Christmas. No, I'm kidding. Red, black, and white are classics. It's since the dawn of design, it's just always coming. And the way that they're using it here is, again, it's crisp, but it's very aggressive. It's again, this is not a comfortable site. This is not a site that's going to hug you. You are not friends. You are here for deals. Like, it is very much, we are here for deals, get in and get out. So I don't think any other color would work unless it was orange, which I do really like orange, because it blends the line from being too cliche. Like, red, black, and white is so classic, it can be cliche. And so I think orange kind of separates you to being still having that aggression, but a little bit softer.
It's still eye-catching. The orange is still eye-catching, but it's not as aggressive.
But it's more refined because it's not overused.
And to Jasmine's point, this site is aggressive. It's an aggressive site, and the heavy use of red, to the question there, Ben. The heavy use of red really emphasizes that aggressiveness. And I guess that's what the site owner wants to go for based upon the video. So yeah, red is usually, if you have too much red, it can come across as aggressive. It can introduce some anxiety into some of your visitors. But if that's your site's goal, or if that's your brand, then great. I personally don't like all the red here. Usually I'd like to reserve red just for some buttons or calls to action or something we want to draw the user's attention to. My attention's all over the place here, but I think the heavy use of red here is much more about creating anxiety and a sense of aggression. Yeah. Any other questions, Ben?
None so far. I think we can, we're approaching time, so we can start wrapping up.
Great.
Well, I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. I got amped. See, I was on the site too long.
And I bought some crack from this site.
Not for human consumption.
So this was fitnessdealnews.com. We do webinar or website roasts every 2 weeks. You can submit your own site through bluefishgroup.com, and we'd be happy to roast it for you. But yeah,
massage site. I'm gonna want a massage site after this.
A massage
Flowers,
site just after your heavy workout from your.
I want something that hugs me. This is not so huggy. We're not friends with this site. You know, we're getting shit done. Whoops.
I'll tell you what, you want something nice? Let's go and you can go back and watch YouTube, the chocolate site we roasted 2 weeks ago.
That was a beautiful site. That was a gorgeous site. And a much different audience. So much different goals.
Thanks a lot, everyone. This is Jasmine, Anthony, and Bluefish Group wishing you a happy holidays. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.